Hey gals and guys, it's your host Phil Larson, and this is your motivational high five on perseverance. Let's do this. Hello, welcome to episode 98 on perseverance. This is actually the second episode over the course of 98 episodes on perseverance. The very first one, if you wanted to stay in this mindset of perseverance, I would encourage you to go back and listen to episode 12, one of the very first ones where my voice is very timid and I'm learning to gain some confidence in my voice. Those are always fun to go back and listen to and remember where I've come from and where I am right now. It keeps me humble and it keeps me persevering. Ooh, relatable. Before we get started here, I want to give some shout outs. There's a new $5 a month Patreon supporter, or I think maybe supporter duo. Their names that they share with me anyway are Nicolina and Les Danette. I'm sorry if I got those pronunciations wrong. Nicolina and Les Danette, thank you very much for joining the Super High Five Club at $5 a month. And they have access to my inner voice, which is kind of a raw recorded podcast that is another additional episode a month. And I share how to get that to your podcast device. And then also another guy who actually went on the website, which is thestoryshop.tv/YMH5, and donated that way through PayPal. And he set up a recurring $1 a month donation. And that is from Scott Martin. And Scott, I knew one Scott Martin that I reached out to on Facebook, and it wasn't him. So if you want an email with me on how to get connected to our Facebook group and just kind of a welcome, please email me at phil@thestoryshop.tv. And thank you for being my supporter through PayPal. If you want to support the show, I welcome it. I gladly welcome it. Go to patreon.com/YMH5, use the number 5, patreon.com/YMH5, and join my team of patrons who have decided every month to maybe forego a cup of expensive coffee and instead support this podcast and continue to give it life into the future, that you can still gain some wisdom and some nuggets of information and inspiration that you can use to, motivate your motivational high five, motivate yourself into what is to come in your life. Will you be a part of that team? Patreon.com/YMH5, the number 5. If you are busy right now, just send me a blank email. Send a blank email to phil@thestoryshop.tv and I can send you the link to get there if that's easier for you. Okay, enough with that. Let us persevere into the episode, Perseverance. Tomorrow I will run 14 miles. Why, Phil? Why would you do that to yourself? Well, I'm in the process of training for my third marathon. And just last week, the training required me to run 12 miles on Saturday. I decided to push it a little further, and since I was close enough, go for that half marathon of 13.1 miles, which I did. And as I'm going through this training program for the third year in a row, I'm rediscovering the importance of perseverance in my life. And in this area, it looks physical, but when you're lost in your thoughts, or you are with your quiet mind on the path, doing nothing other than running for over 2 hours, you begin to persevere emotionally and spiritually and really push through not just physical obstacles. And maybe you've heard that running is therapy for some people, and really I see how that can be in some cases, though I don't recommend it replacing person-to-person therapy. Moving on. But so not only am I persevering physically, but there is a bigger reason why I'm doing this. And like I said, if you've listened to previous episodes, you know why. The bigger reason that also requires perseverance is the water crisis around the globe. If you didn't know, 884 million people across the globe don't have access to clean water. Half the children in that community without access to clean water won't see their 5th birthday. That, my friends, is 5,000 children a day. And over the course of a year, it is almost 2 million children who die because they don't have access to clean water. And these women and children walk on average 6K for dirty water. That is about 4 miles a day, sometimes multiple times a day to get water, and it's not clean. I set goals of around $1,500 for each marathon. This year, I've doubled it to $3,000, and I'm past $2,000 already. I'm going to get past my goal this year for sure. And only $50 brings clean water to one person for life. And I'm doing this with World Vision. And the part of World Vision that raises money through running is called Team World Vision. But if we look at these stats, we hear these stats of almost 2 million children dying per year. 5,000 a day won't see their 5th birthday. It can be extremely discouraging and almost like discouraging of perseverance. Like, why? This can't be, we can't do enough for it to be affected. And when we keep to a limited perspective, a mere moment perspective, I'm going to call it, we can feel discouraged, but we must get beyond that mere moment perspective. And when we do, we are encouraged because at the rate at which the water crisis is being attacked, is being confronted, it could be solved in 10 years, maybe less than that. By 2030, everyone on the globe will have access to clean water. This shows the importance of perseverance because the goal isn't only to solve the water crisis 10 years from now, but it is to attack it all along the way, all the way up to 2030. That this month, a new water access solution will be built in some remote village somewhere in the world. Somewhere where people are getting their drinking water from the same location animals are relieving themselves. You see, the reward of perseverance is not only the end goal. If we focus on the end goal, we won't find the motivation to persevere. The reward is the accumulation of experience and growth all along the way. I want to say that again. The reward of perseverance is the accumulation of experience and growth all along the way. So, friends, what's your marathon? Why are you running it? Are you tired? Me too. But I'm going to tell you something I'd say a lot. And the people in our private Facebook group resulting from this podcast, people in their emails, and often on this podcast, I say this: keep going. Because here's the good news. Photographer, journalist, and activist Jacob Riis said this: when nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stone cutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet at the 101st blow, it will split into two. And I know it was not that blow that did it, but all that had gone before. Your marathon that you are running, it's not all for nothing. The reward for perseverance is in the persevering. You're getting stronger. You may be growing physically, but more importantly, growing in depth, emotionally, spiritually, deeper, wiser. The most important accomplishments did not happen in a mere moment. We must break out of our mere moment perspectives. The perspective that says, if it doesn't happen now, it will never happen. You were built to persevere. You were built to persevere. As we meditate on that and come to the end of our episode, I want to encourage you, as we do in every episode, to find a reflection of yourself, because the power of your words, the narrative, flipping the narrative from the negative to the positive, has dramatic effects on the rewiring of our brain. In every episode, we do this because we know that over time, performing this task is constructive and useful as it rebuilds new neural pathways to a new belief system. Science has called this neuroplasticity. Our brains are not fixed. We're not hardwired. It's not hardware. It is plastic. It can be melted down. It can be molded. It can be shaped into the story you want to shape it in, a more true narrative. So, in preparation for that, find a reflection of yourself, and we take an affirmation, a positive affirmation, and we say this to ourselves. And today we say this: I can run my marathon because I was built to persevere. Friends, you were. Anyone who's ever done some amazing feat, like say a marathon, often for the first time will finish and go, I didn't know I could do that. This is what perseverance reveals, what we didn't know we could do and what we now know we can. And this new knowledge that we can draw from that will propel us into even greater things. Whoever needs to hear this, please hear this. The blessing you seek is beyond your comfort zone. The blessing you seek is beyond your comfort zone. So go. You can do it. It starts with you.